I don't really know how to start a video on a day like today, let alone a video that's just gonna focus on sneakers, especially when there's so much, I don't even know how to phrase it. Last night I was laying in bed and just scrolling through Twitter, and out of nowhere, obviously Las Vegas started to trend for all the wrong reasons. I don't want to be that guy that spreads false facts regarding what exactly happened, but from my understanding, there was one single guy who chose to take it upon himself to take an insane number of lives from other individuals who were there to view a concert. Obviously, this channel isn't a spot where we typically talk about the things that are going on in the world. We typically sit down, focus on a pair of sneakers or several pair of sneakers, and we end it with that, and that's really all there is to it. But just knowing that there's so many of you out there who come here, and spend a little bit of your day with me, I just felt like it was my obligation to just send, my condolences and my prayers out to anybody who may have been affected by what happened last night in Vegas. I don't want to get too deep into it. What he did was very cowardly. There's no other explanation for it. There's nothing that's going to make the situation right. There's nothing that's going to turn it into anything else than what it was, which was a horrific tragedy, and from my understanding, the biggest mass shooting that's ever taken place on American soil, which is another statistic or another thing that we don't want to be known for. Nobody wants to be known for that. There's these tragedies that happen all over the world, and I have no idea what's going to stop them, but I do know that it's awful. It's a horrible thing. It honestly just brings me to a loss for words, and I don't know what else to say other than if you were affected, your family was affected, your friends were affected, or anybody you knew or know was affected, I'm sorry. I know it doesn't do much, but just know that I care. If anybody out there needs anything or needs somebody to talk to, please feel free to reach out to me. You know I respond to pretty much every single comment that's left. But I'm here if someone needs someone to talk to. So if nothing else, hopefully that does something for somebody. Now, hopefully we can take a few minutes to take a look at a pair of sneakers, even though obviously there's bigger things going on in the world every single day, not just today. But you came here to see some sneakers. Hopefully I can liven the mood a little bit and share with you guys my personal favorite pair of 3.0 Adidas Ultra Boost that have been released to date, and that includes my previous favorite pair that was the Chinese New Year's, which coincidentally happened to be my first pair of Ultra Boost 3.0s, and this will be my last pair of Ultra Boost 3.0s because there's nothing else coming out that I really want and or need. And honestly, I'm not too excited about the 4.0s either, but that's something else we'll talk about in another video. Now, let's get down to it. The Ultra Boost 3.0 Burgundy Wool Edition. And guys, girls, whoever's watching this, these are amazing. Now, I told you in my last video that this video would follow up that one because we took a look at the ATR mid burgundies. I just felt like it'd be a good way to follow up that video by showing you guys the normal low cut Ultra Boost silhouette in burgundy wool. Now, like I also discussed previously, there was a 1.0 way back when there was a burgundy colorway. I still think it was an Asia exclusive only. That pair is and always will be a pair that I would love to get my hands on, but I probably never will, just because of the prices that continue to skyrocket and just my unwillingness to pay ungodly amounts of money for one pair of shoes. Nonetheless though, I'm glad I got these at retail. For some reason they're sitting. I'm not exactly sure why. I think they released these way too late in the 3.0 lineup, but it does make sense because of the wool upper. We're heading into winter. It's a warmer shoe. You know, it just makes sense. It's unfortunate that that's what happened. They should have released these when the 3.0s first came out. I think Adidas needs to flip-flop the way they do things and when they release the wools, because wools are always a hit. They were a hit in the 1.0s, and I think too many people are sleeping on these. But nonetheless, love the shoe. Let's dive into it. Not a whole lot of differences from every other Ultra Boost, but I will hit on everything in case there's somebody out there who's still deciding whether or not they want to pick these up. Now, Prime Knit 3.0 upper. Actually, I'm gonna say it's a black base with hits of burgundy all throughout. Now, take the burgundy word lightly, because if you look at it close enough and long enough, it's almost a pink, really light purple look. And I think that's kind of unfortunate. That's something that kind of threw me off a little bit, because the cage looks almost identical to the 1.0 color. And I was hoping that the burgundy that they put on the Prime Knit would also be the same that was on the 1.0, but that's not the case. So primarily black base, burgundy hits woven throughout. As far as the laces go, I love these laces. If you're familiar with Ultra Boost, you get a few different lace types depending on the colorway that you buy. And this lace cut style, whatever you want to call it, is very reminiscent of the 1.0 laces. It's almost a little bit thinner, and just the texture, whatever it's made out of, I really prefer these laces over any other lace that's been included on pretty much any shoe, not just Ultra Boost. Just like the color of the Prime Knit, you've got burgundy and black throughout on those laces. Boring burgundy lace tips, and that's one of two things. Like I mentioned in the mid video, I wish they would have given us the orange lace tips, AKA aglets, as well as an orange tongue tag, because the 1.0s had those hits on them and they just offset the shoe very well. So while we're on the tongue tag, you've got a burgundy tongue tag right there with the Adidas Performance logo. Reverse side, as always, features that Boost branding. I mentioned the cage already, TPU, burgundy in color, awesome. The video is definitely not gonna do it justice. When you see this in person, the color is just awesome. They really should have focused on making the entire shoe this same color, but nonetheless, I still love the shoe, don't get me wrong. I'm actually very happy with the shade of burgundy that they chose to use on the inner liner, typical Ultra Boost liner. Again, we take a look at that 3D printed heel cup. Ultra Boost branding, if the camera's picking it up right there, is black, which I thought was a great little addition to the shoe. No need to put the chrome or the gold on there. The black just sets it off even better. I love that, the black on black heel cup. Inside, you've got that removable insole. Exact same orange color as the ACR mid that we took a look at. Awesome. Like I said, burgundy and orange just go together. I don't know what does it or why that is, but they just fit. It's great. The shoe should have just had more orange hits, but like I said, I'll stop beating the dead horse. Nothing's gonna change. I might even customize this tongue tag and the lace tips if I can figure out a good way to get it done. But that's your upper for the burgundies, the Bergs, whatever you wanna call them. As always, Boost midsole. It hasn't changed. Talked about that in the last video as well. Same Ultra Boost midsole we've seen for almost going on 3 years, if not just about 3 years now. One of the best running shoes ever made. It really speaks for itself. Throw it on foot if you haven't already. Nothing else needs to be said about Boost technology. You know, it's obvious what it does. It's very comfortable. It's, you know, it's great technology. So if you haven't already, as I always say, grab a pair of Ultra Boost. It doesn't matter what color, it just really doesn't. You need to get a pair, put them on your foot, go for a run. They're a great shoe. I did mention that insole. If you follow the channel long enough, you know that I used to pull all my insoles out of my Ultra Boost. I actually prefer to leave them in now. I don't know what it was, if it was just a little phase I was going through, but I like the Ultra Boost more now with the insole in. So take it for what it's worth. Everybody always asks me why I did that. I don't have an answer, but now I leave them in. Now these have been worn already, so excuse me if they come off a little dirty. You've got that Continental branded outsole. Extremely soft, sticky, durable rubber compound. Torsion system, orange and gray hits. Comes up again with those gray hits underneath the heel. And being that this prime knit is actually made up of a wool material rather than your basic general release Ultra Boost material, they're actually a lot more comfortable. I'm not really sure what it is, but occasionally my Ultra Boost will kind of squeeze the top of my foot and just feel a little uncomfortable at times when I wear them for extended periods of time. I haven't experienced that with the wool. I'm hoping that it stays like that. You know, as the more that I break them in, the more comfortable that the wool is actually getting. So maybe I'm just crazy, maybe I have no idea what the reasoning is behind it, but the wool material just feels way more comfortable than previous Ultra Boosts, especially with the 3.0s. The 3.0s have been my least favorite up till now, but like I said already in the beginning of the video, I love this shoe. I love the colorway. I love the wool. I love everything about this shoe. I love the orange hits that they did include. Just love it all. Very, very happy. I'm glad I picked these up. If you haven't already, guys, the wools came in several different colors. I think a black, a gray, a green, the burgundies, and I might be missing one or two. I'm not exactly sure, but any of them will do. This is my personal favorite, still available on adidas.com. And last but not least is sizing. Thank you, Adidas, once again. I went true to size. My true to size is a 10.5. 10.5 is what I consider my true to size, but 10, 10.5, anywhere in between there, and that goes for Nike and Adidas. Nike always used to be 10.5. Now some of the shoes are 10s. I don't know if my foot's shrinking or if they're just all over the place like Adidas is, but true to size, I went 10.5, same as my 1.0s, same as my 2.0s. These fit perfectly. Like I said, the most comfortable 3.0 to date, and I think that about covers it. Obviously, I'll throw these on foot, let you guys take a look at them, judge them for yourselves. And as always, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, peace out.